have been trying to do this video for you guys for a while, how to make a peaceful home from the Curating Conversation series. And I'm sorry, thanks for being understanding. I had to cancel it a couple of times, but I'm here now and I'm excited to share some of the things that I've learned through my life. Like for me, my home is my sanctuary. Since I was a baby dancer, just starting out in the world, since I was living on the, living with my friend in her one-room apartment in Hollywood, and we only had carpet and blankets, and we would dance all day and then go back and stay in her place because it was in town, and just sleep on the floor. But we kept it neat and clean, and we didn't have a vacuum cleaner, so we would have to scrape the carpet to make it look nice and pick up all the little balls and throw them away. But even since then, home has always been important. And I think it's more important these days as we're going through a pandemic and most of us are spending so much more time at home. We're working from home, we're raising our kids from home, we're schooling our kids at home, we're taking care of our animals, we're with them all the time. We are just home. So why not try to make it a beautiful and more peaceful place? And I'm sure a lot of you have wonderful homes, but are looking for a little shift or looking for a little way to make more space or more, to give yourself more freedom or more clarity or more calm. I guess the way to start this is to ask yourself, how do you want to feel in your space? How do you feel in your space? This is something that we don't all take a lot of time to think about. We just decorate it and then we just start living in it, right? And we're always in a rush. Our schedules are jam-packed and we don't take a lot of time thinking about it. But there's psychology to how you live and the space that you come home to every day, the space that you spend the most time. What is it making you think about? What are the colors telling you? What are the textures making you feel like? Do you want to touch the things in your home? Do they look dirty? Do they look heavy? Do they make you think of old memories that you don't want to think about? Your home affects your psychology in so many different ways. When I was young, I read this book called The Sensual Home. I'm sorry I don't know the author off the top of my head, but I know the title of that book because it really deeply affected me. It told me that we are sensual creatures, right? Human beings, we are sensual. We want to touch, we want to smell, we want to see. I can't smell so good right now because of COVID, but we want all those things. So your home should reflect all that. Textures, here, sorry, it's right out of frame, but you want textures that you can touch. This is faux. Textures that you can touch, things that make you feel good. I personally like the colors gold, silver, I like peach, I like earth tones, I like browns and beiges. I like a little bit of green because it makes me think of the outside. So what you want to do is create a world for you that you love to be in. That's what is important about creating a peaceful home. You want to create a peaceful world that you live in. Like for me in this room, this is one of my favorite rooms because my friend Jeff Andrews, who was a choreographer back in the day when I was a dancer, became an incredibly talented interior designer and has done so many people's homes, including Ryan Seacrest. I think he's done some of the Kardashians, Kaylee Cuoco. This is his wallpaper in the back of me. And you can see it on some television shows too. I've seen it in the offices of some of those medical dramas that I love to watch. I don't know, I hope I'm not alone. Like this painting right here. Well, what I like about the wallpaper is this texture makes me feel more energized. If you can see it, I'm going to take you off of here. If you see it, it's got like a rhythm to it, like this, right? But it's not super sharp and not jagged. And so for me, that matters to me. This painting, I'll tell you about, I painted myself because I had an old painting and I wanted to shift this room, the energy in here, and I wanted to have more light. So when you use gold and silvers, it brings more light into the room. See, I have some windows right here, and this reflects the light. You want to think also about how light works in your home. Like I need a lot of sunlight. It's funny because Fabian and I are very different this way. Like he likes to close the windows at night and close all the drapes. I like to wake up with the light coming in. That's just my preference. So think about that when you're thinking about your bedroom space. So I hope I'm starting to make your mind think about your space because you can't change something if you're unaware of how it's affecting you. So this is kind of the first step. So this painting behind me, I painted one day. I just got some spray paint. Actually, the first version of it, I was like kind of in a red mood. So I painted all this red. Fabian and I actually painted it. It was when we were first starting to date. And I thought it'd be a really fun, creative thing to do. So we got some oil paints and just kind of brushed around browns and just had like a fun thing. And there was no need for it to be anything in particular. And then I decided I wanted to bring some light into this room. So I got that canvas. It didn't really turn out to be anything, but I loved that it was something that we created. So I wanted to keep it, but it wasn't the colors that I wanted. So I got some spray paint, silver and gold. And what I did was I spray painted most of it gold. You can see there's some drips, and you can see underneath it, there's the oil to give it some texture. And then after I looked at it, I'm like, gold is too much. So then I just grabbed the silver and did some silver in the middle. And actually now I kind of see like this woman that's kind of like, she's almost kind of like holding a tray like this. That's kind of what I see with her little booty kind of like right there. And then like she's facing out the window. And my bed is that way. So I can see this every night. And I kind of like it because it's like she's making an offering to the world. And I put that meaning to it, you know, and maybe no one else sees it, but it's because it's in my home. I get to make that decision about it. And I like the way that makes me feel. So I think it's really important in designing your own home and I don't want, some people might say designing my home, that's way above my pay scale. I can't afford to design my own home. But I think that that's really important, is that you do claim it as your own and that you do get to design it. Even if you have $0 to make the changes, there are ways to enhance the smell of your home. Like for instance, if you have an orange tree outside, scents are so important. For me, I'm very sensual. I think we're all sensual creatures. And the scent of things, as I've talked about before, is very important to me. So for me, I use like a lot of incense. They have these little ones that you can use. They're also great in the bathroom. Yes, these are great. Oh God, they smell so good. They remind me of my childhood and growing up in Hawaii. There's a lot of Japanese services that we would go to, attend to, and they would have these smells, and I liked those moments, and so those memories are really good for me. Also, I've taken a lot of yoga, and I've done a lot of like spiritual retreats and things like that, and often they use sandalwood, and nagchampa is a great smell. It's that typical, like if you're not super familiar with incense, it's that smell. It's one of the most popular incense smells, and as soon as you smell it, you kind of know you're going into a spiritual place. So even if you're into it or not into that kind of thing, it kind of puts you in that mind state, which is really helpful. So your senses can change your state, because we can change our state at any moment. And I really do believe that your home is the place that it matters the most. We can't control much in this world, right? But you can control your own space, I believe. And so these are some of the little ways to do it. Now, incense, you get yourself a little incense holder. You put the incense here, you kind of burn it. Make sure kids aren't around it, that the animals can't knock it over. It's not near anything flammable, not near curtains, all right? That's really important. If you don't like incense and the smoke, if you're allergic to that, you can do these. This is, I don't know, some of you might know the scent of amber. Well, it comes in little resin things like this. See, you can see that? Kind of messy looking. But you can put a little tea light in here and it burns it, and the aroma will waft into the air, and it's so nice. And you've got the little candlelight. Speaking of candles, candles are also a wonderful way of shifting the space. Why I think that they do such an amazing job and why they make things feel good is there's movement in them. And sometimes a room can feel very stagnant, right? And to change that, we can open the window or turn the lights on or put a fan on, or you can light a candle, because the candle will start to move. It just creates a little energy shift in the room. That's one of my favorite things to do. I love candles. Be careful though. Like I said, not near curtains, not near animals that can knock them over, nothing flammable nearby. Another way, some people like these things, these diffusers for scents. Just be aware though, I learned this the hard way. When you turn them over, this oil will drip and it will stain and it will ruin your furniture. So always do it like over a sink, or like I just did over myself. I don't know. Rhonda's probably not gonna be thrilled with me, my stylist, because I just did it over my clothes. But these also are great. You just turn them over every so often so that the smell gets refreshed into the air, and it's really nice. So there's so many different ways to change the scent in your home. Also, I just got these really cool, amazing scents from Zen and Magic. These are made from a girl made by a girl from Hawaii, small business. And these are Palo Santo based essential oils. And sometimes I will just go around the house and I will just spray these things. Be careful of eucalyptus around animals, because some people say it's not great for animals and can cause serious illness. So I would stay away from it if you have a lot of animals, although it's a great scent. It's great in the bathroom. I use it when I take a bath. If you have a cold, it's good to rub on your chest. So many different ways, but this one's Palo Santo based, and they're 100% essential oils, and I love the packaging. And that's another thing. So when you're at home, something that's important to think about, and we all have a right to do this, you want to see things that make you happy. So put out things that you like. Small, large, like this is large, this is small, but I like it. Even these, like sometimes, some people want to bring in energy of the earth into their home, right? If you want to talk about feng shui, it's about bringing in the elements, all the different elements. And if you want to bring in the earth element, you can go to a local crystal store. They have tiny little crystals for like $1 and sometimes under $1. And if you know what they bring, and if, let's say you share a room with your brother or your sister or somebody else, you can just put it and you know what it means. And there's something to waking up each day or going to bed each night knowing that this is a crystal, I think this is a quartz, and it cleans the air, cleans the energy. So I like quartz around a lot because they really, in my mind, and really isn't this whole life experience based on the way we perceive it? I tell myself this cleans the air. This is black tourmaline. To me, what I learned from my friend Sia, who you could follow as well, CYIA. She's an amazing healer and crystal energy worker, and she's just amazing. She told me about black tourmaline, and I was going through a difficult period in my life, and black tourmaline sends out a protective energy and protects you. So I have little black tourmalines in my windows because that makes me feel safer. So remember that your home is yours, and you get to make the decisions about how you want to decorate it, what you want to bring into your home, what kind of energy, what kind of things you want to be saying to yourself through the way you decorate your home. Now, sometimes life can be like extremely overwhelming. So one of the things that I always recommend to all my friends, and if you're one of my friends, you'll know this and you're gonna laugh. A way to sort of feel like if your home is out of control, it's messy, you've got too much clutter. The first step to cleaning your house and to getting organized and to making your space feel peaceful is to clean out a drawer. I know it sounds so simple, but I'm telling you, it will make you feel inspired, and it's something that everyone can do. You don't need a lot of time. You take one drawer. I usually take my junk drawer. I have junk drawers everywhere because if you're like me, when people come over, I just shove everything in a drawer to make it look nice. And then weeks later, I have to clean out the drawer because I can't find anything. But when I clean out the drawer, just bring everything out, go through what you need, what you don't need. What it does is it helps you feel in control of your environment. And I think, especially now, that's not something we all have, psychologically speaking. So when you get this little drawer in your house and you empty out what you don't need, you are empowering yourself in so many ways. You're taking control of clutter in a small way. And then tomorrow, you're still inspired to do more. If you take on too big of a project, and I learned this from this book that I'll share with you, if you take on too big of a project and you don't finish it, your self-esteem is not going to be great. So I believe strongly in baby steps. I believe in making choices that make you feel good so that you can continue to do good. Make choices, let me say it again, make choices that feel good so you can continue to do good, all right? I learned something really interesting since we're on the topic of cleaning from this book, The House That Cleans Itself. I don't know if you know this, it's by Mindy Starnes Clark. Mindy, thank you. You helped me a lot. She talks about different styles of cleaning. So some of us are like I'm going to do the whole house today. I'm not one of them. And I've had to surrender to that. But I used to feel like a failure. And I used to be like, why can't I keep my house clean? And it actually used to bother me. And it would make me feel depressed. And it would make me feel like I wasn't good enough. Because I have, some major, I use this term lightly, OCD friends who are incredibly organized and can like all my friends' faces are popping up in my mind. I can see them. They just can keep track of everything and keep it organized. And I can't. I like it, and once in a great while I can, but I can't do it all the time. So this book talks about the various ways to clean. Like one of the things I learned from this book, which was so great and helped me feel better, is if you're one of those people who can only do a little bit at a time, do a little bit at a time and then move on to something else and then come back to it when you can, because that works for you. And that way you won't quit in the middle of it. So check it out if you want to understand your cleaning style, because I thought that was a really interesting thing to look at. Because a lot of us don't like our homes just because they're messy. And that's no reason to not like your home. You can fix that. Another thing that I think is really important about your home is think about your home as the food that fills you, like visually and sensually, all the different ways. So I like to frame quotations. This is the Serenity Prayer, and it's in the hallway of my house, so everybody gets to see it. I don't like to invite a lot of people to my home unless they have good energy, because I know that when you invite people into your home, their energy is going to stay in your home for a while. And so think about that. Who are you inviting into your home? You have the right to say no to people who have toxic energy, people that don't feed your soul. Just remember that. You are empowered in your own home. So let me just read the Serenity Prayer because it's so beautiful. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and of course, the wisdom to know the difference. This one helps me in life in so many different ways, and that's why it's in the middle of my house. It's like, to me, that area in my house is like the heart center of my house, and I place that there because I want that kind of reminder, and I want to lead with that kind of energy. It's so important. God, grant me the serenity. I'm going to say it one more time. Serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Accept what you cannot change. The courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That wisdom part is the kicker. That's the most important part. Going back to scents. You can also get these Glade plugins. They're great. There's all these different scents. I use the cashmere. Sometimes I use the clean linen. But don't put too many of them in your home because you can get a headache and it's overwhelming. So this is more a slightly synthetic way of doing it. There's the essential oil way, there's the incense way, and there's also lighting candles. Also, what you can do is you can, going back to what I originally talked about with scents, you can get an orange or a lemon or a lime from your tree outside and cut it up and put it in your garbage disposal, and the scent is amazing. Or you can run a bath, squeeze it in the bath. Sometimes I go in the bathrooms and I'll drop some eucalyptus oils. I like essential oils. They just work for everything. Use them in the bath. And then also, there are these diffusers, the ones that you put, if you have never tried one of these, you open it up. It's very simple. Oh, there's the water. See the water? And you put essential oil, lavender, my favorite. It's calming. You can see why I'm kind of messy. Oh my God. 10 drops. Close this. Don't fill it too much. If you fill it too much, it doesn't make room for the smoke to come out. And cover it. It's not plugged in right now because I'm a little too far from the plug. Turn it on. Some of these have timers. You can put them on for 30 minutes, 6 hours, whatever. You can control the steam amount if you don't like it. They have lights. You can turn the light off if you're trying to sleep and just want the scent in your air. Lavender is also a great scent to put on your pillow if you need to sleep. Okay. Oh, scents. Sorry, awkward topic, but important in all homes, especially if you're sharing your home with other people. This is bathroom spray. You spray it in the toilet before we go number 2. And this will keep a peaceful and a happy home. I will tell you that. Okay, and also I wanted to share these with you. These are my favorite candles. Because they're white and they go with any decor, right? So there's not like a strong color theme that you have to go with. Simple white candles always make anything look elegant. So if your house is a little messy and you want to create a mood, dim the lights, put on some white candlelight. These smell great. They have vanilla, or this coconut, yeah, vanilla scent. These are from IKEA. I think they're less than $3, right? Yeah, they're either $3.99 or less than that. This is the bigger one, so I think it might be $3.99, but there's other ones that are $2.99. And, you know, it's just something about like lighting a candle. It just feels magical. Okay, now earlier we talked a little bit about the earth element. So I am from Hawaii, so the earth is really important to me, and I think it should be important to all of us. I was just raised in a way to think of the earth and think of the spirits in the earth, like Madame Pele, and then the ocean. And like I also come from like Hawaii, and we have a Shinto influence as well, which is believing all the spirits in sort of all of the rocks and the stones and the trees and everything. And that's how I feel. So when I have pieces of nature and earth around me, it makes me feel comforted and more close to home, because we all come from the earth and we all go back to the earth in a weird way, if you know what I mean. And I know we all have slightly different takes on that, but that's just my take. This is, there it is. Okay, so there are so many crystals. You know I talk about crystals a lot. We do have to be careful though, because we are taking so many crystals to sell them that we might be depleting the earth a little bit. So I will share these, but I also know, like, let's not go super crazy about taking all the crystals from the earth, because the earth also needs the crystals. But I wanted to share this. So often I go to a crystal store and I will just look at what feels right. Or if I have a color scheme, I might go for a color, or I might go for the texture, or sometimes I might just wander around and just see what catches my eye. This one is called Still Bright. And I love the color. I'd never seen a crystal this color. It's kind of like a light peach orange. And see, this one I love, like the rough side on this side, earth, earth, earth. And then this side is so beautiful. See that? I love this. So this one is about self-care, peace, and emotional balance. Things that I am always seeking. I do struggle with, not struggle, but yeah, no, I guess the word is struggle. I have struggled with my emotional balance. I'm very emotional. Everybody knows that about me. I've come to terms with, like, that is just who I am. People used to try to shame me for my emotions, but they are just who I am. And the more I accept myself as I am, I have found the world outside of me accepts me more too. When I was like feeling like it wasn't a great thing, I got more negativity about it. When I started to just be okay with all of it, it started to lessen. So I give myself permission to be all of myself, especially when I'm at home, right? Especially after a long day, or especially exciting day, whichever, whether it's up or down, or just sort of a blah day. And this is great because it helps you create emotional balance. Still Bright's name, I'm just going to read this. This is from Serendipity. Still Bright's name comes from the Greek word meaning to shine, and that is exactly what this crystal urges you to do. The kind of support that's a Still Bright crystal lens is almost, I don't know, parental in nature, which is kind of nice because my dad passed away many years ago. And it's loving and emotionally grounding. And I find that I need that. I'm sure I'm not alone. If you're having trouble visualizing the next step in life, which I think a lot of people are, I know a lot of people have lost their jobs, don't know what's happening, are a little uncertain of their future. This crystal can help provide guidance. Meditating with a Still Bright crystal is a great way to gain a sense of direction if you're feeling lost. Helping to have more of a peaceful sleep, we all need that, a more profound intuition. These are just a few of the ways the Still Bright meaning benefits the mental space by being in your physical space. Mental space, physical space, heart space, that's your home. All of those things are happening all at once. Another thing that I like to have at home are books. I have not read all the books that I have, just honesty. But sometimes I just buy books because I feel that I like what they're about, and I know they're in my home, and I know one day I will read them all. I have so many great books. I'm not going to bring them all out here, but one of my favorite books is The Untethered Soul. And those who know. But these are some I just brought out recently. So this is a guide to essential oils, in case anybody was curious about essential oils. It's just a little tiny book. It's by Shiva Rose, Homemade Recipes for Clean Beauty and Household Care. So if you want to go completely in that direction, this is a cute little book. And then what's interesting about books, though, is when they're lined up on your shelf, they're like reminders. Think Like a Monk, Jay Shetty. Oh, this one doesn't have the name on the side. This one is, I love this one. I keep it in my bathroom. May you live a life you love. That's what I want for everybody. May you live a life you love, because we deserve to love our lives. I know that so often we think that we just have to get through and that we don't, that's a luxury for other people. Yes, some people have more, some people have less. That is true. But you can change the way you view things, and that can change everything about how you experience your life. And since the home is where you spend the most time, that's the best place to shift the way you think. Okay, so also another way to shift the way you think in your home and create a peaceful space, even though the world could be a little difficult, is quotes. So in my personal bathroom, I have quotes all framed, random quotes on my bathroom wall. And then I change them out so that I get new reminders. And then I like to keep quotes like this or quote books around, because when I'm a little bored or have a minute or I'm feeling overwhelmed or a little lost, I'll just pull a quote. I know those who know me know I do this all the time. So here's one by Hans Hofmann. The ability to simplify means to eliminate the unnecessary so that the necessary may speak. One more time. The ability to simplify means to eliminate the unnecessary so that the necessary may speak. What I gain from this card and what I'm gathering is that, because I'm also feeling this at home, I'm feeling like my home has become a little cluttered. So I feel that I need to clean out my closet. Oh, my stomach just made a growl. Clean out my closet and a few other areas. And that way, what I really love will be what remains. And I feel like that was a reminder to do that. And a reminder for us all to choose what we really love and keep surrounding ourselves with things that we love and things that have meaning. Pictures of those you love, pictures of relatives from your past, moments that were very special, and cherish them and highlight them. You can frame things, you can put them in boxes and put the box on a shelf. Things that make you happy. So those are kind of some of my tips. I have so many tips about how to have a peaceful home. And as you know, I meander when I talk about things. But I do really think that it's important to have a lot of textures. So think about the materials that are in your home. You know, like I like wood. I'm a Capricorn. That matters to me. Some people like to see the sky. So make sure your windows are clean. Simple things like that, so that every time you look at the window, you don't think, oh, I need to clean it, which brings you down. These are all the ways to create peace within your home. I think when you see spider webs, sometimes you're like, oh, I got to clean that. Just clean it then, you know, so that you feel free. You don't have to spend time worrying. If there's a picture that's crooked on your wall, straighten it. All those little things. If you're cold at night, get a good blanket that you like the way it looks, not just that it serves function. And some things also, if you just need to buy functionality, you don't have enough to go for something that you love the way it looks, try to appreciate the functionality of it. Like if it's a blanket that's kind of worn down and you don't like the way it looks, but you want to shift the way you react to it and make it feel good because you can't afford to get another one, you can change the way you look at it, and you can just think about the gratitude of how much this blanket has been through and how warm it's kept you and how it's kept you safe. And then you're going to love that blanket. And then it's not going to matter that it's the wrong color. It's going to feel good. So these are the tips that I have for today about how to shift your space into creating a peaceful retreat in your life, which should be your home. Your home should be peaceful. I really urge you all to try to find a way to create that peace in your home. You deserve it. We all do. All right. Have a beautiful day and take care. Oh, and share with me how you keep your home peaceful and what little tricks you have, because the only way we learn is through conversation. So in the Carry On Conversations, we want to exchange ideas and knowledge. So please share some of your ideas, and we appreciate you. And if you haven't yet, follow Carry On Conversations and go to our website and check out some of the stories. We're really trying to give you good content so that we can help you live a beautiful life. All right, take care.